Oh, I want to address this absolute utter tribalistic bias from this guy Rory Jennings, who obviously hates Enzo Maresca with a passion due to the fact that he basically used Chelsea as a stepping stone. Yeah, he would have known really. Ideally, I want to go to Man City because he worked there before, and he said in his press conference, Maresca, that Man City are a better run club. So let's address some of these claims made by these guys here.
I don't think it's a guarantee that they finish above fourth, fifth.
Yeah. I don't think that's wild anymore. If you would have just told me that a couple of weeks ago, I'd have said, Roy, you're just wild.
Yeah.
But as soon as they lost Rodri,
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, Rodri,
anything could happen.
Stones, Bernardo.
So Stones didn't play last season. Did not play. That's a fact. Apart from the one game he came on at the end in Aston Villa, didn't play. Rodri very rarely played. In fact, very early in the season, it was Nico Gonzalez playing most of the games. Rodri came on in bits and started to get a bit better. Got injured again, and then but he started getting better towards the end of the season. But I keep hearing this thing about, he can't win. How are they going to win the league without Rodri? Well, the same way Arsenal won the league without Rodri. I mean, Rodri's a good player, don't get me wrong. But, you can win the league without Rodri. Liverpool proved that the year before. Arsenal proved that last year. Again, utter nonsense.
Silva, Pep Guardiola himself.
Even like Nathan Ake.
Yeah.
Who Nathan Ake was almost that guy that could play left back, right back, centre back, everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But again, he hardly played. He came on, substitute appearances, did well. Good defender, Nathan Ake. Was he as good as Jessica Gvardio? Nah. Is he as good as Diaz? Nah. Is he as good as Gay? Nah. No. So obviously he's gone because he's going to get more first team football anywhere. So the fact that they're saying City not because they've lost Nathan Ake, yet they haven't addressed the fact we've still got Jessica Gvardio. They've still got Ruben Diaz. Still got Abdinir Kuzanov. Still got Mark Gay. Well, that is, apart from probably Arsenal, or not too far off Arsenal, it's the best defensive centre-back depth in the Premier League. By the way, Liverpool, this guy here, what's his name? Aladipo, sorry, his Liverpool team would cry out for the defensive depth that City have at the back. And also Chelsea would as well. Looking at them against Fulham, they look good against Fulham, but defensively, no.
Even him, the man of experience that has left that club, winners. Like you're probably looking at, what are we talking collectively? 90 trophies with the manager, like 90 trophies have left that club, gone.
Yeah, and the way that Maresca.
What experience does Chelsea have? So again, he's going to say, oh, City are not going to struggle to finish top four because they've lost experience. What experience does Chelsea have at what? Finishing 12th? Yeah, the City still have players that have won trophies in the team. Ruben Diaz, Esco Gvardio, won a Premier League title, FA Cup, won a League Cup. Mark Gay is experienced, won 2 FA Cups. That's experience. Won trophies. Yeah. Erling Haaland, experienced now. Oh, he's 25, but he's experienced more than what most of the modern Chelsea players have experienced. Who else is there? Phil Foden, now 25, 26 years of age. What do you mean by experience? They've got players that have won trophies in big tournaments. What are you talking about?
Look, I saw nothing in Enzo Maresca at Chelsea to suggest that he is ready for the biggest job in the world, which is what Man City.
Oh, well, there we go then. Oh, well, there you go. That's it. If the former failed EastEnders actor sees nothing in him, then he's got to be crap, hasn't he? Despite the fact that Pep Guardiola, the greatest manager of all time, in my opinion, has said on numerous occasions, Maresca is one of the best managers around. Also, by the way, I'd like to point out, when early Arteta at Arsenal fans were get him out, criticising Arteta, Pep Guardiola says, no, he will get it right. Arteta is a good manager, he will get it right. And he has. So we're going to take this guy wearing a pink shirt, who's a former EastEnders actor, but he's basically bitter. Or should we take the word of Pep Guardiola or the Man City owners who have not hired an unsuccessful manager yet? Whether it was Roberto Mancini, Manuel Pellegrini and Pep Guardiola. They have not hired an unsuccessful manager yet.
See, not the club, not saying the club.
It's what it's become.
It's the biggest job in the world. You're following on. Yeah, it's the biggest job in the world
at
the moment.
Yeah.
There isn't a...
Biggest job in the world? What do you mean? If you've got a well-run and well-structured club, and a very, very good squad, well, we need more players, there's no doubt about that. It's surely a whole lot easier, isn't it? Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Enzo Maresca is as good as Pep Guardiola, because nobody is. But all he has to do is do a bit of research of tacticians on YouTube and all the other people, and look at him. And yeah, he's a good manager, Enzo Maresca. He come up with a strategy for them, which he ignores, to beat Paris Saint-Germain. Now he's going to say, yeah, it's only the Club World Cup. You're trying to tell me Paris Saint-Germain didn't want to win that? If you can prove that, then fair, prove it. If you can prove that Paris Saint-Germain, not bothered about this today. No, they beat them. And they beat all the other teams in order to get that final. Yeah?
Isn't a more attractive or interesting job in world football than following Pep Guardiola at Man City?
I just think, how do you keep... Like, what have they got in terms of star players? Like, world-class Haaland. Like, 100%. How do you keep...
So City have never had world-class players. They have players that become world-class at Man City, right? But define world-class. Define world-class. I mean, yeah, I'd say Haaland world-class. Possibly. But they've got very, very, very good defenders. Compare Liverpool. How many world-class players have Liverpool got? I bet he's going to predict they're going to finish higher. How many world-class players have Chelsea got? I bet he's going to predict they finish higher. Again, nonsense.
Him invested and interested. You know what I mean? Like, Maresca almost ordering him around doesn't seem real and right. Do you know what I mean?
Also, you've got to look at the way that Maresca approached it. Like, when I
Why are you trying to imply that Erling Haaland is not a professional? He's not a professional. He's not going to, listen to what the manager says. Again, do your research. All the players have said, we work with Maresca now for 3 days, and we're happy. We like what he's doing. Some of his trainings are excellent. We're in for it. We're up for it. It's simple research. Google it. Watch the interviews. So, I mean, if Erling Haaland, who's one of the biggest professionals, elite professionals in the world, he'll do his best anyway for the club. Again, I'm sure they just pay these guys just to be provocateurs.
Well, the starting lineup, I thought there was a mistake in it. When they had 6 defenders, Gahey playing midfield alongside Anderson. You're like what?
How's that any different to the treble season? They had 6 defenders. They had 4 defenders. Yeah, 6 defenders. Where did you get 6 defenders from? For so obvious, clearly you can't count, can he? They had Gvardiol, Diaz, Kuzanov, and Mark Gay. My basic maths. I'm not a mathematician, but that's 4 defenders, isn't it? Yeah. And Enzo Maresca said they experimented with doing the John Stones role, where in possession it's a 4, and then John Stones, when we have possession, steps into midfield. And it is not a coincidence that during the treble season, when Guardiola changed to this philosophy, Enzo Maresca was his assistant manager. And there's rumours that it was Enzo Maresca's idea of having John Stones step in to make the double pivot, and it becomes a free. But instead, he decided to go for Gay in midfield, and it worked.
What is going on? Where is Nico O'Reilly playing exactly? Like, he ended up kind of off the front man. And I don't know if that's...
And how many times did Pep Guardiola do things like that? You know? Pep Guardiola went into a Champions League final and didn't play his best holding midfielder, Rodri. So, yeah, he's a manager that'll experiment. Well, where does Nico O'Reilly play? Nico O'Reilly is one of the most versatile players in the Premier League. In fact, he'll play left back and do a job for you. He'll do midfield and do stuff for you. Probably play the number 10 role, which is where I think Nico O'Reilly was in the 10 role, because Phil Foden was on the left wing and he's not a left winger. So I think he was in the 10 role again. Do your research. Well, what did you just talk? What are they basing these comments off? They've not actually seen the game, seen how the lineup was structured, or what? He's just making it up off the top of his head.
Genius from Maresca, some would say that it is. Or if it's lunacy, I don't know.
No, that's what you're hoping it is, because you've got an agenda. And it's an obvious, clear agenda against Maresca. You know, you don't have to say he's the best manager in the world, but to say you've not seen anything from him, that's not true. Again, right, go to Google Jamie Vardy interview about Enzo Maresca. Many people at Leicester said, yeah, he was great. Obviously, there were going to some people that say I didn't quite rate him, but that's the same with Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola had fallouts with many players that he couldn't get to work. Okay.
Weren't very good.
Maybe lunacy. Maybe, you know what it is? I remember Mourinho did this before at Chelsea, and it was almost pointing to the board. I'm playing a defender in midfield, get me a midfielder. And all of a sudden they've signed that young kid Boadi right now.
Yeah.
That's now over the line. And it so happened to happen at the weekend where he played Gahey.
It's nothing new, playing a defender in midfield or vice versa. When Vincent Kompany came to Manchester City, yeah, he was a defensive midfielder that was put back into the back line. Playing that role, you know, if you're a very highly technical centre half, Rodri was basically could play centre half. So there's not much between that position of the anchor man role and a centre half. Obviously, the slight difference is you need to be very good with facing the goalkeeper and receiving the ball. You need to be aware of under 90 degrees awareness of what's around you, yeah, and physical strength. Right, that is a key thing where Calvin Phillips struggled with that. But put in a sense, it works if the player is good enough to do it.
In midfield. So maybe there's a point at the owner like, look, if you don't give me money, we've lost Rodri, we've lost Bernardo Silva.
Again, I don't buy this, because he said in his interview, they knew there's going to be players coming in. Yeah, they've left it late, I think. I don't buy the fact that the World Cup has affected them. They're buying players in. I think they've left it late. But whether they wanted to get rid of the players first and then bring in other players, I don't know. You know, I think they could have got the players, so at least some of the players in a lot earlier. I do agree. But Enzo Maresca knows they're going to bring a player in and try to bring players in. Or it won't be if they want to try, and if they don't.
Bit more. Some will say, okay, Elliot Anderson, but they'll say I need a bit more.
The trouble is, when you lose Bernardo Silva and you lose Rodri, and you want to talk about the brilliance of Boadi. Now, Boadi really caught my eye at the World Cup. I'm sure he's going to be an amazing player. But he's 18 years old and you're asking him to fill in for a Ballon d'Or winner.
I don't even know if he...
Yeah, but some players at 18-year-old are vastly better than most players at 18-year-old, yeah? And now obviously it is an experience, but what again you're not talking about is the fact how many games he's played in for Lille. Top European games as well, Champions League games against Real Madrid. Okay, played in World Cup. So some 18-year-olds like Yamal, are cut above everybody else. Now, the suggestion is that the Boadi is that type of talent of Yamal, but as a midfielder, obviously, time will only tell. We don't know. Okay, that's potential. But again, also know that we're going for other players as well. He's not going to just have Boadi there. And he's also got Mark Gay that can do the job, isn't he?
He's that same. Like, I watched him at the World Cup and he was okay. Everyone's overly excited about him, maybe because he's just 18. He's not a Rodri. Like he's not a man. Like when Rodri.
Fucking hell. What? Not a Rodri. That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, I've got a striker here. Say Julian Alvarez. He's not, but he's going to Barcelona. But he's not a Messi. He's not a Messi. Of course he's not a Messi. Of course he's not a Rodri. But the way he is playing at the moment, the experience he's got at the moment, Boadi, and the way he's playing, by the age of 28, he could be as good as Rodri. He could be better than Rodri. You know, in 10 years' time at Man City, this Boadi will be 28, which is a year younger than what Rodri is now, and he's going. But again, I reiterate, Liverpool won the league. They didn't have Rodri.
Who came in and filled in for Fernandinho, you must feel like, okay, a man's filling in for a man. Like, Boadi's going to take a couple of years to get used to the pace of the Prem. Elliot Anderson's needs to kind of live up to the price tag, and he's never going to... You're never, ever going to live up to that price tag. Ever.
No.
I mean, we could...
Well, obviously, Florian Wirtz. Oh, yeah. Florian Wirtz, he's going to be hit straight away. You know, despite, again, the hypocrisy of this Rory Jennings, who said Erling Haaland coming from the Bundesliga, he's only going to score 15 goals because it's Bundesliga piss easy league. As soon as Liverpool signed Wirtz, what a signing! This is a revolutionary sign. This puts Liverpool on the next level. He's exactly the same. He's come from the Bundesliga, playing in the Bundesliga, in a weaker league. You said, which is the excuse you use for why Erling Haaland will only score 15 goals. You know, but he forgets all these things, doesn't he? So again, Wirtz, the same high price tag. You know, he didn't say what is he going to live up to the task. Enzo Fernandez. Same price tag. Caicedo, did you say the same? No, you didn't. And some players do, by the way. Some players don't. That's obvious, yeah. But I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't really think footballers give a shit about the price tag now. I don't think they care about it, to be honest.
We can count on one hand the amount of players that have moved for big money and it's actually worked. So even if...
Yeah. And also count on... That haven't worked. What's your point? Can work, it might not work. Yeah. Not mentioning any of the Liverpool ones, though, is he? Yeah. And he's still, in the future, Liverpool, when they buy Barcola for 130 million, big money, they're still going to pay the money, aren't they? Even though there's a 50-50 chance, maybe, that he might not work.
Even if he turns into a Ballon d'Or player, good luck sort of living up to the price tag. Phil Foden's vanished a little bit. Doku, we know's hit
I
and
think
miss.
they're in trouble. But do you know what? What we have to say, as much as neither of us seem to be rating City, they are going to bring in more players. Yeah. And to give them their credit, they were losing the game on 84 minutes.
Yeah.
And they won.
Yeah.
That in itself is quite impressive.
No, it is. But
so that indicates that despite Maresca being a bad manager, you know, despite them having no experience, the players have desire to win the game, have hunger to win the game. Despite them being slightly disjointed, having a lot of players out, they have the desire and hunger to win the game. So he's kind of contradicting his previous points here, isn't he? Because his brain's going, actually, they weren't that great, were they? They weren't that great. They've got a crap manager that I don't rate. They've lost all their experience. They've lost Rodri. Yet they still, against Bournemouth, fought back and won the game. Oh, that kind of contradicts all my points, doesn't it?
Against the Bournemouth team with a new manager, obviously, Andoni's at Liverpool. New players as well, a new system.
Wrong. Factually inaccurate. Again, if you watch the game and you listen to the commentator, it was exactly the same team that they had last season, apart from Coupe, who was injured. So the players were the same. The team was the same. I actually remember the commentator saying that when he read out the team, it's the same team. Wrong. Yes, they got a different manager who played the same formation, 4-2-3-1, and was a bit more aggressive. But it's not much different. But also, again, I will point out how many Bournemouth players went to the World Cup, which means they've had a full pre-season behind them. Yet Man City still won the game. Still won the game. So again, it looks as if they've done no research here. So I've pointed out numerous things where they've done no research. They've not looked at the game. New players. They didn't have new players. And if they did, it wasn't many. But again, Man City had new players. So, Man City had a new manager.
Yeah, they finished 6th last season, but they might struggle a little bit. So yeah, I applaud them. But it was nervy at the end.
Yeah. What about you? What about Liverpool?
Mate, where do you start with that?
Well, you can. I'll tell you what we can.
So, yeah, I'm going to leave that there, guys. Let me know what you think. But yeah, again, and there's becoming a theme with Chelsea fans in particular. They've got a hatred for Enzo Maresca, saying he was an absolute crap manager, which, he's not a crap manager. Numerous people who work with him have said he's not a crap manager. In fact, he's done more going to Man City than Vincent Kompany did going to Bayern Munich. Yeah, Vincent Kompany was at Burnley and had them playing some good football, but he got them relegated, got them promoted and relegated. Whereas Enzo Maresca went to a relegated Leicester, got them promoted. Championship, won the championship. Then went to Chelsea, who were struggling, a disorganised squad, buying loads of young players, disorganised run club, and he started to stabilise them. They would probably said to him, "Listen, we're expecting a 2 or 3 year project here, okay?" Which is a reason why they wanted compensation from Man City for Enzo Maresca, because their argument was, "You ruined our project. You destabilised our club by taking Enzo Maresca." So it's a contradiction there. He's actually contradicting his own club by saying that Maresca was shite, because if he was shite, then why are you seeking compensation from destabilising your club? Again, logic. Think. Cheers, guys. Take care. Let me know what you think. Goodbye.